Generate pairings is probably the most important aspect of the application, but also one of the easiest to perform. This process should be performed sometime between the time when the sign-up sheet comes down, but before the next golfing date for the league. When performing this function, the administrator should first view the current sign-up sheet. After the sign-up sheet comes down for the members, it will still be available for administrators. However, if the new sign-up sheet is now available, the previous month's sign-up sheet could still be accessed by an administrator under Administrative Functions as last month's sign-up sheet. So let me go in and we'll display the sign-up sheet. And bear with me while I bring up this page. And there's what the February sign-up sheet looks like. And we can go all the way down to the bottom. While viewing the sign-up sheet, the administrator should look for anything unusual. Maybe there may be members that you know will be playing next month, but they are not signed up. You do have the option to call them and ask them. However, by doing this, you'll make the sign-up sheet less important if members believe you will call them if they didn't sign up. So this is strictly the discretion of the administrator performing the task. Now to generate pairings, we're going to select the option for Generate Pairings. And this will bring up a page, and I'll show you that page in a second here, that looks like this, showing Generate Pairings for February. It will always default to the next month. Now, if OK, click the Submit button. This will only take a few seconds, or even less, and then come back with the results of the generation. If there are any problems, those problems will be noted. So when we click the button, it comes back and says that pairings were generated, or players were paired for each week of the month. Now, if for any reason the administrator wants to go back and run the generate process again, they can. So we'll go back to the main menu page, and if we say Generate Pairings again, and bear with me while I bring up this page, we get the same page again. However, when we select the Submit button, it will show that pairings have already been generated, and then give the option to override the existing parents. So if we say, do you want to override? Yes. We will click Submit, and it will generate the pairings again, assuming after the administrator made changes. The administrator should then give a cursory view of the pairings for each week by selecting the option for Future Pairings and Tea Times. From there, the administrator can make modifications to the pairings if desired. When generating the pairings, the application uses the following logic. If it's a stroke play or match play event, the logic will try to create a foursome with 2 players around the same handicap and 2 other players with about the same handicap. Example, a pairing may have 2 players with handicaps of 14 and 17, and 2 other players with handicaps of 33 and 35. If it's a team play event, such as a scramble, the logic will try to pair each team with an A, a B, a C, and a D handicap, so that the average handicap of each foursome is familiar. The logic will also try to pair players together that have not recently played together. This will promote getting all the members familiar with each other. The logic will also select a captain for each foursome. It will attempt to try and select a person as a captain only once during the month. It will also not appoint a person if their profile indicates that they cannot be a captain. The selection of players in a foursome is complex, and every consideration was considered in generating the logic.